The University of Toronto has been educating students for almost 200 years, and the campus is home to some of the oldest buildings in the city. One of the icons of this campus is Convocation Hall. Only the 10th building constructed by the university, this symbol of education is now more than 100 years old, and the massive skylight and dome ceiling is in need of replacement. This is where Clifford Restoration steps in. With experience in working alongside heritage buildings and the unpredictable, unseen issues that can arise, the old skylight and dome will be completely replaced, and the safety features on the roof and catwalks will be updated to comply with modern regulations. The first step starts with the construction of the scaffolding.
Our work consists of replacing the glass in the dome ceiling within the auditorium and replacing the skylight on the roof.
Well, the ceiling is over 100 years old. It's the original dome glass ceiling. And so over the years, the glass and the caming is deteriorated. And part of our scope of work now is to have a look at the primary framing, the structural framing for the glass. This will be stripped and refinished. These panels get removed, and we will start determining how we redesign a new glass panel system to fit within the existing framing. A big part of the scope of work here is this dome ceiling.
Up on top of the temporary work platform, the team is installing the scaffolding and a plywood dust partition to separate Convocation Hall from the work. As the scaffolding goes up, the team has also installed a gantry lift. All the materials for the project will need to be brought through the auditorium and hoisted up through the access hole.
Something as simple as scaffolding poses a huge challenge to get access. I mean, we're currently standing 80 feet above Convocation Hall floor. This is an area where, how do you get access to do the work? The engineering involved in getting scaffolding in place and safe as a working platform is very intense.
With the access scaffolding going up, Clifford can take the project one step further. The original dome and skylight is removed. After the asbestos abatement, the old material is stripped out, and the debris is removed by a crane.
We're going to start bringing it down. Let's give it like 10 feet, 20 feet down, cable down, 20 feet.
However, getting material out isn't the only reason the crane is on site. The huge steel girders cannot fit through the access hole inside Convocation Hall, so they will need to be lifted up and installed through the roof. And since Convocation Hall is constructed from wood, there is no welding permitted inside the building. All connections must be bolted. Working with heritage buildings can be unpredictable and bring up unforeseen complications.
What we're working on at this level is what's called the inner catwalk, and it goes around the entire oculus ceiling, which is going to be this new dome glass ceiling that we will be installing in another month or so. As with most heritage projects, you discover things as you go, and as we were demolishing the old catwalk, we discovered some interferences with existing ductwork, and we discovered that we needed to add some structure in order to widen this catwalk to what's required by code. The catwalk isn't the only issue we've had to deal with in terms of discoveries. On any historical restoration project, you're always going to discover things that you need to work around, and that's what I enjoy about historical work. There's always something to discover. There's always issues that you need to work through. You have to expect the unexpected and be able to run with it and get your answers and get the work done. So lots of those issues here.
Pushing through the issues, the next step for the team is to install the massive new skylight frame.
6 inches.
Looking good here.
Inch. Daryl Hill from Clifford Restoration. I'm acting site superintendent. Changed out the skylight, all new glazing. Now we're installing the copper capping, just to dress it up a little bit. And then from that point, we're installing a new roof anchor at the very top, as well as 8 other ones around the perimeter of the skylight itself. The biggest challenge in this job is access. Being where it's at, you know, as you can see, we're working on a round copper roof, which is quite difficult to build any kind of scaffolding. We managed to do it with quite a bit of engineering and just simply good tradesmen, but nonetheless we got her done. But that's to me the biggest issue on this project.
Tackling all obstacles in their way, the team presses forward, and as the project advances, it's time to assemble the new custom glass frames.
So we're in a little glazing production shop right now at Clifford Restoration warehouse. And what you see in the shop is actually the glazing process, where we take the anodized aluminum frames for the Oculus at Convocation Hall, and we're actually installing the glaze panels within these aluminum frames. When we did our destructive testing on a panel a week or so ago to ensure that the glass is going to perform the way it's supposed to, well, we ended up loading this single pane of glass with 900 pounds, and it still didn't fail. So we went beyond triple of the design load, and it still didn't fail. What all that means is it's super safe, and there's no risk of the glass, you know, being destroyed and falling through the ceiling into the hall below, which is exactly what we want. It pretty much looks original, but it performs like a Ferrari, you know?
With the custom frames ready to go and the access scaffolding coming out, the team can now install the new glass. Finishing up their work on this historical Toronto building.
It's been quite a journey. We got all the glass in. Great feeling, a lot of hard days, and you know, we managed to get it. Convocation Hall, it's an important place for a lot of people. Graduating, they can look up and see the work that I've done. Pretty proud of it.
The big platform that's been sitting here for the last few years to get access to both the Oculus and the Skylight has now been removed. The massive columns and beams that held up the platform are now gone. It's been a great project to be involved in. The glass just looks fantastic.
Clifford Restoration has worked tirelessly to not only repair Convocation Hall, but modernize it, protecting the heritage elements, updating the safety, and ensuring that the new dome and skylight will last another 100 years.